Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Simply Spooky. As you can see, it is just myself and Jamie this evening. If you're out there in the chat, give us a message, put a thumbs up or a hello, let us know you're there, let us know you are, so we can chat to you. So this evening, well, obviously, as I say, Liv's not here. She's buggered off to America, left me and
All right for
Jamie in the
some.
lurch, holding the baby, while she gallivants over in the States. Actually, she's over there at the moment because she's doing a paranormal convention. So she's I can't think what she's doing. I think she might be doing some medium work, but it's at Seaside in Oregon. So I hope she has a great time while she's over there. Lots of fun. Oh, we've gone down to 0. There's nobody in the chat now. So I think we'll wait a minute and see who comes in, and then we will get cracking. Are you all right, Joe? Have you had a good week?
Yes, mate. Yeah, it's been all right, thanks.
Excellent.
I was a bit ill over the weekend. I was proper achy and sore throat, but apart from that, I'm getting there, mate. You know, it's all around at the moment.
I think there is. I think there's a lot of that going around at the minute, aren't there? Lots
COVID's
of
coming back again quite hard, isn't it? So
yeah. I think we're getting over it now in our house. Hazel got it. Hazel's had it. Hazel's had the. She's well, same as me. She's had the full set of. She had the full. Hi, you Chantel. She's had the full set of injections, and yeah, she's had the full set of injections, and she's still had COVID 3 times.
3 times.
3 times. I've had it 3 as well.
Wow. I've only had it once, and it destroyed my legs.
I think I was all right, or I thought I was all right, but then what happened was that it started to hit me a little bit after the COVID. Once I didn't really get it that bad, to be fair. It was just like a mild cold. The back end
I got it quite bad, to be fair. It smashed my legs to bits.
Yeah, but a lot of people have seen me suffering after with after effects.
The after effects, yeah.
You know, but that's it really. So you've had a good week. Good week.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's been a good week.
Excellent. Chantel, I hope you've had a good week this week. As you can see, we are Vivless this week. She's over in the States hobnobbing.
She'll pop up in a little while.
She will pop up in a minute. She'll probably be in the chat in a minute. Right, Jamie, tonight I want to talk about, because obviously it's a free-for-all tonight, we can have a little chat about anything. And I was going to chat about hauntings that you've investigated or been involved with, and apparitions that you've seen, and what led you to believe that they were apparitions.
Okay, mate, yeah.
So, do you want me to kick it off?
Yeah, you kick off, and then I'll start thinking which one really, or.
Well, I've seen. Well, like I said to you, I think I've seen 4 apparitions, but to be fair, I can't be full body apparitions, but one I can't be so clear on because I'm not sure if it was or not. 3 of them, I'm almost 99.9% sure that they were. 90.9999999% sure they were, and one was of a girl that I saw at a field on a farm. That was quite a freaky one. And the first one I saw was a child. It was a guy who was in my bedroom, and he was just standing there. It's sort of illuminating this little bit of light around.
Was he at your house?
He was at mum and dad's house. Yeah,
okay.
He was at mum and dad's house. And the second one, as I say, what was the second one? Oh, there's been a few over the years.
So was mum and dad's house London?
Yes.
And I'm saying that the house is really quite old.
We can add where the best is this is as good as it gets while she's away, Chantel, unfortunately. No, mum and dad's house was mum and dad's house. Deal with me. Mum and dad's house was it wasn't old, it was probably 1950s.
Okay.
But they were the first people who moved in there, so I'm guessing. Well, I don't know, but it wasn't. I don't think there was anybody there previously. But as you know, sometimes it can be the land that the property's built on.
Well, this is it. It can't be that old, you can't be ancient old, can it?
No, and it could be somebody passing through. It could be a member of the family. It could have, but obviously, families. The lineage of a family goes back hundreds of thousands of years, doesn't it? So
yeah,
it could be anybody in your family. You would not to know. But that was the second one. What was the third? The third was, well, actually, I saw one that was the one thing that alerts me to knowing or gives me the idea that they're spirit is because what happens is as soon as I've seen them, and I'm not one for seeing spirit, I'm not I'm not like you. I haven't got any mediumistic or psychic abilities whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm like a brick when it comes to that. No antenna at all. But the one thing that always shoots up is I go icy cold. The hairs in the back of my neck and my arms just stand up.
Yeah.
And I freeze.
Oh, really?
Freeze. Yeah, and I even had that driving along.
Oh, wow.
And when I look at it, it's just I just go freezing cold, like it goes through me.
Yeah.
Fear, I would imagine.
Probably, yeah.
Probably, but yeah. So there are a few. I've had a couple of situations with shadow entities. One of those I nearly tapped on. I got really close to it, within an inch of tapping it on the shoulder, and it moved away. But I thought it was somebody else.
What, the spirit tapped you on the shoulder, or you tapped?
No, I was investigating Nottingham. It was the Galleries of Justice in Nottingham.
Oh, okay.
And there was me and a couple of others. One was on the stairs outside. Me and a girl. We walked through, and we were leaving it. We were leaving the washroom, which is a very dark, dingy area.
Well, yeah, but the smell of it as well was.
Yeah, it was the women prisoners' washroom.
Oh, okay.
So it's hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
A couple of hundred, 150 years. And as we were leaving it, we investigated it, didn't get anything. And then as we were leaving, we heard footsteps. So we stopped, looked at each other, did her about turn, went back in. I thought the girl had just stopped just shy of the doorway.
Yeah.
I went into the back room, looking around, couldn't see anything, pitch black, couldn't really see anything at all. And then I turned around, came out the room, and the girl was in front of me. And I went to put my hand on her shoulder just to move her out of the way. And as I got my hand just almost touched her, she just moved away silently. But it was a black outline. It was shadow. But I thought it was her because that was how dark it was.
Yeah, it was that dark, yeah.
Yeah, and I said, "Oh, sorry," the girl's name. And then she went, "I'm over here, Dan." And she was over in the other corner.
Wow.
And this thing just moved literally my fingers
straight
almost
like nose.
it. Yeah, it was, yeah. And then so there have been a few, and the thing I always say is that I know that I know when it's a spirit energy because I get very cold, freezing.
Yeah, see, if I know if anything's, but I get like really static hair.
Like now.
I think I told you the story where
Jay. Like now.
Yeah. Well, no, that's just that's uncut, But yeah, when I used to watch Most Haunted, funny enough, pitch black used to scare the creepers out of us, and then it's just like you get the static feeling.
Yeah. I
didn't know what it was, but no, my visual of seeing in a spirit was at my mum and dad's house when I was living there. When I was probably about 18, I think. I come back from my best mates. Must have been, didn't drink or nothing. And then mum and dad's house is very old. It goes back to the Victorian time. And
so plenty of families moved through that doorway then over the years.
Yeah, I reckon, yeah. And the stairs are like massively steep. And you can hear it goes every other floorboard at the time, but with Dad sorted out. Yeah. Okay. And then so I went to bed. So my bedroom is at the front of the house. So if you wanted to go for a wee, you had to go through Mum and Dad's bedroom, and then
I know. Yeah,
at the back. So you went to the stairs, and if you went left, you'd go to Mum and Dad's. If you went right, you could go to my room, and then I was just going to bed. My bed faced the window. Where are we? Faced the window here, and then I heard some noise. Like I just got, when you wake up suddenly, and I looked straight across because I thought it was Dad going to work or whatever. But it was a full Aboriginal, like full blown spirit of my great nan.
Oh, okay.
You could see like her glasses on her head. You could see a walking stick. You could see like the clothes she was wearing. I was just like, I started to fill up, you know, because I didn't expect that to happen. Just put my head over my quilt, and that was it. I fell asleep under my quilt. And I said to Mum when I woke up in the morning, I said, I think I saw Great Nan, Big Nan on top of the stairs. And she's like, what does she look like? I said, like Mum's got pictures in the house. I said, it's that one there. And she was like, but previous, Mum has daffodils, like when they come out, because that was Nan's favourite, like flower. And she, when I was little, in the back room, like so in this dining room in Mum and Dad's house, Mum used to have a vase, like a really thick vase, and then she used to put the daffodils in. Well, I was in my pram, right near the window, and on the old Welsh dresser, like it's an old oak Welsh dresser, and she had it on the side, and then when Mum walked through, they were on the floor. So it was quite weird. I can't remember it because I was only young.
That's quite. But even if it's family, I mean, that's the thing. People say to me, I've had a lot of people over the years say, I wouldn't be bothered. I'll go running after it. I wouldn't fry. And it's like, well, have you actually experienced one?
Yeah.
And they've said, well, not really. I said, well, you know, hold your opinion until you've seen one.
And you've seen one, yeah.
The reality of seeing one or talking about what you're going to do, it's like these blokes, isn't it? Oh, you know, if I went to war, I would do this and I would do that. Never seen a gun in their life. And it's the same with apparitions, isn't it? Until you've seen it and experienced it,
yeah,
you don't know how debilitating it is because it's terrifying. It's and it's exciting as it is. You know, you're looking at something that shouldn't be there, or in your mind it shouldn't be there. Of course, it should be, but we perceive it not that it shouldn't, and it's quite disconcerting. It's quite frightening, and it does. It freezes you.
It does. Yeah.
But yeah, so those are the type of things that I've seen over the years, and hauntings. When I've done investigations at hauntings, I've done quite a few now over the years. Some of them I'll go in and they feel quite benign, feels quite friendly, feels okay, not a problem. And then others I'll go into and it's just a very dark, damp, depressing atmosphere.
Yeah, got that musty smell to it.
Yeah. Some of them do. Some of them do. They give off that horrible smell, you know, and it's weird. It's hard to explain it to people.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a particularly nasty one I did over in Bedfordshire some years back now. And I'm very loath to say demonic and stuff like that because I don't buy into a lot of this stuff, you know. But certainly a negative. It was negative. It was I believe it was human. But it was just negative. And
that's it.
You know that you don't want to be there. As soon as you turn up, you don't want to be there because you know that it's not right. You know, it's like people said to me, "Well, how can you tell?" It's like walking into a room where there's been an argument and you can cut the atmosphere with a knife. You know, that tangible. And it's the same with these type of hauntings.
It's quite weird though because last year we went over to Borley. You had a walk around Borley. I know you can't go into the site, but we had a look around the church and I didn't get a lot around the church, to be fair.
No, we went there. We got stuff that me and Viv went there last summer, and excuse me, back end of summer, and as you know, and we got stuff that we didn't pick up on. That there was stuff that happened that we didn't pick up with the naked ear, but we got it on the mic.
Right.
And there was stuff, but there was nothing negative, nothing dark or horrible there.
No,
it just seemed like a normal, pleasant English country village.
Yeah,
you know. But I think that some people they love the idea of these things being dark, don't they? You know, and it's like, well, they're not. You know, not all of them are.
No,
you know, some of them, mostly 99.9999% are just humans. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and I try and tell myself that when I'm investigating. You know, they're just people.
Just
and
people.
I have to tell Viv that sometimes because she gets a bit. You know, last time she got a little bit nervous, but she's really good mostly. But like anybody, we all get nervous, we all get scared, we all get, you know, unsure of ourselves and the situation.
Viv will tell. I used to get really scared. You know, I used to come out of my shell, kind of thing. I'm like, no, I'm not going anything, not doing this, not doing that. But the last investigation, we went down over the fifth corners. She was like, Joe, I'm really impressed because you didn't like panic. You didn't shy off, if you might know what I mean. You
No, and
wanted to.
that's full of human body parts, isn't it?
Well, yeah,
And
that's
mummies and stuff.
that was an experience in itself.
So yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's an interesting part of the subject, that the fear factor of it. But when people tell me they've never been, they don't get scared, and it's very exceptional. I personally, I don't buy into that a lot of the time.
No,
I mean,
that's
unless you're completely a lunatic and don't care. But even then, you know, it's uncertain ground, isn't it?
Yeah. But it was like, I remember Dad telling me a story when they used to live in Devon, down in Exeter. Dad used to live on an army base down there. And him and his brother, Grandma asked him and his brother to go get some lemonade from the shop. So they've gone off to the shop, then come back. And Dad turned around to his brother and said, look, what's that in the sky? They well, hear them talking about it now. They still believe that was a UFO, and dropped everything. I think they started filling up and legged it, dropped the lemonade, and Grandma said, well, where's the lemonade?
Oh, well, they just left it and
just left it and ran away. Yeah, it's
you would, wouldn't you? Well, let's be honest, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. You don't know
lemonade
what
would be the last thing on your mind, wouldn't it? If you're trying to get away from something like that.
Well, that's it, you know. But like you say, it's like we said on like the other week when you had that fella on about all the like the Bigfoot and Dogman and the Butterfly Man or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, the Mothman, yeah, Mothman,
that's it, Mothman, yeah. And obviously Nessie and that. You know, it's until you see it, you can go, I've seen that. You know, I know you've got the pictures and video bits and pieces, but until I see it, I think I've seen that. Then do you know what I mean?
I'll be honest, though, I think I'd rather, as exciting as much as I think that I'd like to see one of those cryptids.
Yeah.
I think I'd be far more frightened than I would have cryptid than I would have seen a human spirit.
I think I would as well, especially Bigfoot.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially if they are physical.
Yeah.
They just tear you apart. But yeah, it's interesting. So we did a couple of investigations over the year, quite a few investigations over the years, and the ones that I was always a little bit nervous of, nervous is probably the right word, unsure, were ones that had had a lot of activity that could be considered poltergeist, because I think all bets are off then. You know, there's a possibility that you could get injured. There's a possibility that you could get some sort of residue, some sort of problem after.
Yeah.
And I think that the cottage that I did, I talked about this before, the one that was 1,000 years old.
Okay, yeah, I can remember you saying.
And I came away from that and I couldn't leave the bedroom for about 3 days because it shattered my nerves.
Yeah.
And I felt like crap. Felt really bad. And
so do you reckon something attached to you, or
I think so. I think it was either the energy from the place or what have you. But that was definitely a poltergeist in situ there. I think they're ordinary spirits.
Yeah.
But you differentiate between them because obviously it crosses, doesn't it? It blurs, but the activity. But there was definitely stuff there. I mean, stuff was being moved while we were there. Chairs were being pulled out and you could hear them, and banging and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff going on.
Yeah.
Banging on the floors, banging on the walls, disembodied voices. I got told, I heard something downstairs in this cottage, and I said to the team, stay up there, I'm going to go down and see what that was. And I got halfway downstairs, turned the torch on, looking around, nothing, and said, is there anybody there? And I was running a voice recorder at the time. And then when I replayed the voice recorder, it was it told me to F off out of the house.
Really?
Yeah, it was a male voice. Get out of the house.
Yeah.
Clearly, I didn't. But but there was like lots of bits and bobs going on there, and those are always the ones that I've been a bit weary of. Where people say, because as I say, all bets are off when if a spirit can move stuff and throw it about a house and apple stuff.
Yeah.
All bets are off, aren't they? There's no telling what energies or what power they've
got.
You
don't know, do you?
You know, and that was one of those. Now, spirits, have you ever brought any home with you from an investigation, or do you feel that you've ever brought any home?
No. I don't know.
No.
My place is, I wouldn't say active, but I suppose with Lucas getting to that age now where you can see, well, his imagination's going wild, isn't it?
Well, you ask yourself, is it imagination?
Well, this is it. What I said to you, you and Viv the other week about we saw someone in his bedroom, and it's like, what do I do? Do we wait until they go to my partner's pet, like dad, and then we'll investigate it? But our flat was the blocks. These houses, these flats have been here for years. I think it's like after the war. The people that moved who got bombed in London, they come down to here
Moved out to Essex, didn't they?
to move to Essex. Yeah, so it's like you say, it's so many people have been here, done that, and gone through the building. So you don't know really.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? And I think that's the same with a lot of buildings, and even new buildings. Who knows what was on the land prior to that house?
Well, this is it, yeah.
And I think Viv herself has got a haunting in her property at the moment, which she's had for a long while. And it's, I'm sure she won't mind. She should tell you about it herself anyway. But it's a railway worker that, because her house, where her house is, it was a railway line, and it was a shunting yard. I think, right where her house is.
Yeah.
And she's got the spirit of a railway worker there. She had a pot thrown at her. She was in one room, and
I've heard this.
Yeah. But
she's in her computer room, wasn't she?
Yeah, and she did say, she said she was tired at the time and she had a lot going on and frustration and what have you, and she doesn't know whether she manifested that herself or what have you. But there's definitely a spirit in that property, because I saw something in the garden and she asked me what it was. I saw this bloke, just a glimpse, walk past, and she said, what was he wearing? And I said he was wearing like a blue coloured jacket and trousers. Said, yeah, that's the bloke. That's the railway guy who haunts a property.
Yeah,
but it's interesting. It is interesting. You often feel that you'd like to be able to get a one-on-one conversation with one, wouldn't you? Just to find out exactly,
just to properly investigate.
Who they are,
down at a table, or whatever.
What their life was, that type of thing. What their memories are. But I don't know. It's a weird. We're odd people, ghost hunters, aren't we? We're very, very odd, unusual.
See, I'm quite, like I say, I'm quite new to it. I know I've been doing it for.
But you've been doing it for quite a while, though, haven't you?
Yeah, on and off, really. But yeah, I'm still I still think I'm still a novice, really, because some of the places.
We all are.
I think some of the places that we went to, yes, they were haunted, but we didn't have. I wouldn't say we got good stuff, but it wasn't like we didn't have anything chucked. Had a scratch, but that was it. We couldn't find anything on it. But like I say, I always think ghost hunting is like fishing. If they're there, they're there. The same as the fish. If the fish are there, then they're going to take it, aren't they?
Yeah.
But
that's a good analogy as well. I always say to people, I've spent countless hours. So I've spent 1,000 hours in 1,000 different locations, and the amount of activities probably works out about 2 hours of that overall. And then it's not spectacular activity. It can be something as mundane as something moving, or a knocking, or a tapping, or
footsteps.
You know what I mean?
Stuff
but stuff that reciprocates to your questioning. Stuff that is intelligent enough to react to your questions.
Yeah.
It's a case of sitting there, and I think that's what happened. A lot of people that have got into it over the years. I mean, you've probably seen it yourself. And Viv and myself were talking about this recently, that the amount of people we've seen come and go over the years is a phenomenal amount of people. Tons and tons of people.
Yeah.
And I think what they do is they get into it and they stay because it's quite a social. We all knock around together, all friends, or mostly in this field.
Yeah.
And then what happens is they find out that it's not like the TV programs.
No.
That there isn't chairs levitating around the lounge. You're not having cutlery and crockery thrown at you.
No,
You're not
that's it.
having cheers stacked up, and then they get bored with it and decide maybe it's not for me.
Yeah.
You know. But there are those, but it's those occasions, isn't it, where something does happen, no matter how mundane it is
Yeah.
or how small it is. It's those occasions that you sort of live for, you do it for.
Yeah.
Because you forget about all those hours sitting in the dark, in the cold, in the rain,
In the cold, yeah.
getting nothing. Because that one little piece of activity, no matter how small it is kind of validation for you.
You get a buzz from it as well, don't you? I think you get I get a proper buzz from it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
just
do
being
it.
there, just being in these properties that are supposedly or purportedly haunted, you know.
Mm.
It's like you say, the thing is, I think they're there all the time. I think spirits are there all the time.
Yeah.
Are you, Gillian? Yeah, you're right, Gillian. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is what we were talking about. This is exactly what we were saying. You know, it's that's the case, unfortunately. It's they watch these TV programs and they become carbon copies of something that they shouldn't be. You know, rather than putting a bit of research into it and going back into the annals of history and studying the original ghost hunters, you know, the first and foremost ones, they jump on the bandwagon with this new lot who really, it's notoriety. I think a lot of people seem to want to do it for notoriety. And when that fame isn't as forthcoming as they think it should be, or as quick, then what happens is they just get bored of it, don't they? They get bored of it and move away.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, you're right. I do agree with you, Gillian. It is wannabes, and that's the sad thing. But it's like the kit, isn't it? I mean, we're going to go into that further tomorrow. On Simply Speaking tomorrow. I'm going to talk about kit and stuff and what you need and what you don't need. But yeah, there's quite a few of them out there like that. And you've probably seen them yourself over the years, haven't you? You know that they think they're going to be something they're not.
I can remember going on to investigation, and this lad had 3 or 4 like cases, you know, like the old the silver camera cases.
Oh yeah.
He come in like with 3 or 4 of them. I was thinking, oh, it's an absolutely womble. I just couldn't. I just like, are you joking? But I can see from, you know, like the kit that you and Viv got, I can see why. Do you know what I mean? I can see why you're gonna.
I've whittled it down now over the years to virtually nothing. I mean, I think audio and video is enough. I think if you're going to get anything, you're going to get it on those two.
Yeah.
But we'll talk further about that tomorrow. The machine
tomorrow,
you can never stop spending.
No.
You know, with a lot of this kit. And yeah, it's I don't think I mean, don't get me wrong, when I was younger, I was hungry for all this kit as well. But then you realise as you get older that and the black leather vests. Yes, exactly, Gillian. The black leather vests. They've got to be. You've got to have one of them. You're not a paranormal investigator.
Sorry, mate. I ain't got one, but I don't want one.
I haven't either. So we're not real investigators, are we? We haven't got those vests. But yeah, it's a great subject. But as I say, you make lots of. You always see the same faces over the years cropping up again. The you know. You see hundreds of people and then nobody, and then hundreds of people and then nobody, and then just those sort of old diehards, as it were, that have been doing it for a long time.
Well, like you and Viv.
I've been doing it for a while, but
how long have you been doing it for, Dan?
30 years nearly. Well, no, 30 years. Yeah, wow. 30 years.
I was 6 when you started it.
But you know what? It doesn't make me any different and better an investigator than anybody else, because
no,
at the end of the day, you know. We're all learning.
I think we're still learning as well, Dan. Like you said before.
It's the eternal question, isn't it? You'll find what you think is an answer. It won't be an answer because there are answers, but I don't think we're going to get them. Not this early on, anyway. You'll find what you think is an answer to one of your questions, but out of that, another 50 questions will come up.
Yeah.
So you're always continually learning. You go in one direction, and it will take you in another direction, and then you do this and you do that. You know. I mean, a lot of different people have got different theories and different ideas.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to listen to everybody's and take on board and then make your own
decision. Yeah. Mm.
you know, your own assumptions as to what it is. But I don't know. It's very. There are some wonderfully weird people out there that come up with all sorts of crackpot ideas.
Yeah, but I think that's blamed on YouTube as well, isn't it?
Well, it
You
is.
do
It
get some
is. I mean, you
wannabes
look
on
at a
there,
lot
didn't
of.
you?
As I
Spoil
said
it for
to
the
you,
rest.
Jamie, I refuse to watch paranormal programming now, whether it be TV or whether it be YouTube, because
Yeah,
if they're not misrepresenting what they're meant to be doing, because they don't know what they're meant to be doing, then they're making it up. A lot of them.
yeah,
And I'm sure that there is activity out there that people are getting that is bona fide activity.
yeah.
But it's mixed up with so much of this fake rubbish that you can't get to the bottom of what's real and what's not.
What's real or not? Tell you the truth, the only one that I do watch is Ghost Quest.
Yeah,
Ghost,
they're okay. Yeah,
you know,
Ghost Quest are all right. Yeah. They're okay. Ghost
but
Quest are
that's
okay.
pretty much the only ones now. Like you said, it's just that's the only one, I suppose.
And you've got to know these. You've got to know these teams to trust them. You know, and there's
Yeah,
not a lot. I don't. It's like I said to you before. It's not the paranormal I don't trust. It's people's interpretations of what paranormal is
yeah,
or how they go about it. You
yeah,
know,
exactly. Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm not setting myself up as some sort of iconic paranormal investigator, ghost hunter, because I'm not. I'm far from it. You know, I'm no
no,
different than anybody else.
yeah,
We're all out there struggling to find the answers, whether you started this morning or whether you started 30 years ago. It makes no
yeah, exactly.
difference.
Yeah,
You're all at the same point. You
yeah,
know. I mean, there is some good work out being done now out there, which is a lot is proper science based,
yeah.
not buzzing, whirring, light up pieces of kit.
No,
These are proper science based research,
yeah,
and I'm glad to see that now that a lot of the scientific field are taking it more seriously than they used to. They're considering it now for experiments, and they're considering it now for research.
okay.
And you have got a couple of these renowned scientists that are sticking their head above the parapet, so they're willing to take the ridicule and what have you. And that's all you need. You need one or two of them, bona fide, bona fide scientists with credible backgrounds, and once one or two of them stick their heads up, then you'll see more and more come out. And
You see more,
I'm
yeah,
hoping you'll see more and more. And I think it's the fear. Because people look at it like they did look at it like it's a pseudoscience, and the way
yeah.
that a lot of investigators do it is like a pseudoscience. But that's not saying that there isn't an element of truth in it,
No, that's it.
and reality and credibility, which there is.
Mm.
We've got no investigators now. Nobody's watching now. So we haven't done well this week. I didn't put the shears out, unfortunately. I said Viv's going to slap me when she gets back for not putting the shears out.
Well,
I would have thought Viv could have come on, wouldn't you?
I thought she would have come on and
I'm
slapped
very
us around,
disappointed.
but wait
very
for it. She'll be on
disappointed.
either tonight or tomorrow. She'll probably
Yeah.
be jet lagged.
But then I suppose when you're hobnobbing it over in the States, you're not really
You don't
that
really
fussed
care
about.
about us two.
No, not
Paupers.
bothered about. No.
She don't give a damn, does she?
No. She doesn't care whether you sink or swim. So sort of, if it goes right tonight, it was me and Jamie. Brilliant. If it doesn't go right, it's Viv's
We blame
fault.
it on Viv.
Yeah. But she's away for this week and next week, and then she's back. So, yeah. So that's it, really. I mean, how many you worked with? You've worked with a couple of teams over the years, and you obviously
I've only been with one.
right. And
Only one team.
do you feel that you learn stuff from everybody in that team? A little bit of
Yeah, because like you say, every team has got their own different ways of doing. How they want to do it. So like if you move on, so like the next people will work different between the first group. So it's you're still learning, and everyone's learning, I think. But people with, like you say, if everyone does it the same, it'll be boring, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you do need that diversity, don't you? You need people doing different things and coming at it from different angles just to get that diverse structure to come at it. So the more angles you come at it from, the more chances you got of hitting or striking it lucky.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what needs to be done. So yeah, so even the quirky ways that some people investigate, you know, there's credence. There could be credence to that. There
Yeah.
could be absolute credence to that. You know, I'm
was
not knocking anybody. I never
Probably the
would.
same as you with like your groups that you've been in. They work different to
Yeah, I
everyone
mean,
else.
some people may look at the ways I've investigated and go, "Oh, that's not for me. I wouldn't be doing it that way," and they're
Yeah.
perfectly entitled to their opinion, and they could be
Exactly.
right for all I know. You know,
Yeah.
but all we do it to the best of our abilities, and we try and just push the boundaries and look for new ways of coming at things.
Yeah. I do.
You know,
Yeah.
but
Have
that's
you
not to say that. Go on.
have you been to any like know what they called, like mental hospitals, asylums?
Believe it or not, I worked in one for a while.
Oh really?
I worked in one which was Coley Hatch, which is
Okay.
over in Free and Barnet. I was just doing stuff, moving stuff along from the offices and that, and I wasn't working in there as a like an orderly or
nurse.
anything.
Yeah.
I was just moving stuff about and that, but it was very. At the time, it still had patients in there, so people that were, and some of them were quite severely, bless them.
Yeah.
And some of them were obviously milder.
Yeah.
But it was quite. I mean, it was going back now to the 90s, but it was a very Victorian, dark, depressing, dingy, horrible place. And I always remember thinking, you know, people that are suffering with mental illness, this environment's not going to do them any good. And I can see why those energies, when they pass, still haunt those properties.
Yeah, because they're in the atmosphere that they've
It's
been
the
in.
atmosphere, yeah. And those walls, they do. If anywhere's going to soak up negative energy, if anywhere's going to soak up sadness and horror, and
It's going to be them walls.
it's going to be one of those. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those.
I'd
But
like
they
to
turned it
investigate one.
they closed it down, and then they turned it into luxury flats of all things. And I often think to myself, I wonder if any of those people that have bought those flats
I've
have
got
got any
trouble.
activity in them.
Yeah.
Because some
It's
of them
like
were like the bathrooms were the padded cells and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and solitary and that type of thing, you know.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, yeah, that sort of. Hi, you Kelly. You're very welcome, and thank you for tuning in this evening. So that's Kelly. Let's have a look. Kelly Elliott there. Here you go.
Hi, Kelly.
So yeah, I mean, it does. It sort of soaks up that type of energy, you know.
Yeah.
And if anywhere's going to soak it, like despair, sadness, depression, negativity, it's going to be.
It's going to be there, isn't it?
Gatwick Hospital.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Because
Kelly.
the old workhouse in Braintree, that's that used to be the hospital where Mum used to work, and she wouldn't go into some of the rooms, you know.
Was that a psychiatric hospital? Was it at one point?
No, it was the workhouse during the Victorian times, and then the NHS got it, and then once the NHS moved out, they turned into luxury flats. So, you know,
it's not somewhere I would choose to move into. I don't think.
No,
because even if it's not haunted, the energy that's there, that negative energy, that feeling of just being lost, is going to haunt you anyway. It's never going to. You could scrub it and you'd never clean it.
No, that's it.
You know, of that energy, you couldn't get rid of it. What's that, Kelly? Sorry. Last 2 years of high, really weird things happened to me, and I get a bit scared. Do you know what, Kelly? We all do. We were saying this earlier on. Myself and Jamie were saying that, you know, can we help? Yeah, we can probably help you.
There's an email going down the bottom.
There's email down there, spookyviva hotmail or Danny. Just get those and send us a message, or friend us on Facebook. Are you on Facebook? You are, yeah. Friend us on Facebook, and we'll see if we can help you. We'll try our best.
I think Dan will help you at the moment.
If we can't help you, we'll always find somebody that can, or you know, we won't leave you in the lurch. So it's that sort of energy and that sort of anguish that gets gets pushed into the environment, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's no pubs are notorious for it, Kelly, because they tend to be a hive of they tend to be like a social area where people all meet, and so they see lots and lots of life and lots of death as well, and lots of weddings and all sorts of pertinent times in people's lives are spent in pubs, and what happens is it leaves that energy, you know.
That's the energy that feeds on, isn't it?
Yeah, which is why a lot of them are haunted. People choose to drink in them all, you know, most of their life, become regulars and that, and then they haunt them, or their energy's still in situ.
It's still in there, isn't it? Because that's what they believe. That's what they loved.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want to leave it, do they?
No, exactly. But yeah, it's workhouses again. It's that despair, isn't it? It's that loss, you know. It's like, I mean, they used to break families up, didn't they? They put the women and children on one side, they put the males on the other side.
Yeah.
You know, people end up in these situations with no fault of their own because they couldn't afford to feed their families or
orphans themselves. And stuff, wouldn't it?
Yeah, orphans, anybody like
they
that. They end up in these workhouses. And yeah, not nice environments. And of course, despair again, depression. It's amazing to think as well. It wasn't that long ago, was it? You look at 150 years ago.
Well, no.
You know, and not even that. I mean, 100. They were still going about 104 or 5 years ago. So it's yeah, lots of those types of places.
Yeah,
but I've never investigated a psychiatric hospital.
No, I haven't.
Ever, or an asylum.
It's one to do, tick off my bucket list. To be fair, because that's I think that will do its answer. Really, you know.
Yeah. Well, we're looking at hopefully. What's that? Sorry. Yeah, don't. I know it's easy for me to say, Kelly, but try not to be too scared. You know, we're saying we're only human at the end of the day. We can all get scared, but try and just remember they're just people. Yeah. Yeah, like they're hives of industry. Pubs are, you know, they're sort of renowned for being a hub of society, of a social.
It's a social thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, and so people spend a lot of their lives in there, but I wouldn't. I would say it's fine. I wouldn't worry too much. I know it's easy for me to say because I'm not in your situation, but if you need help, just send us an email or Facebook. Dan Winter on Facebook. That's my name, Dan Winter, and then we'll try and sort something out for you. You're right, Lois. Lois, you're right. Oh, I know, love. You've not been very well, have you? It's been. I know. We've had it in the house. Everybody seems to be coming down with it lately. We're from Hertfordshire and Cambridgeshire, Kelly. Whereabouts are you based? And we travel, so don't worry about that.
Hello.
And we travel, so yeah, don't worry about that. We can. I'm getting hang of these guys. I'm just Viv's backed off.
Just be careful.
I'm getting used to. I'm getting used to navigating this. Go on, mate.
I thought that was Viv that texted us then.
Yeah, she's probably spying on us from afar, but she's over in the States at the moment, hobnobbing.
Yeah.
While we're here holding the baby, as it were.
She probably hasn't got no internet, thank God. She hasn't got no internet, so.
I did ask her. I said, "You do know you're leaving it with me and Jamie, don't you? It could just go. You'll come back to a big house fire."
That'd be all right, mate. I got COVID. I'm locked in the house. I need to be...
Oh, Lois, I hope you're all right.
Yeah, so do I.
Hope you're all right, sweetie. It's not nice.
It's not nice at all. I've had it. I've experienced it.
Get well soon. Get better soon. Yeah, what I'll do, Kelly, you're on Facebook. I'll find you on Facebook. So don't worry.
No, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. We can
work around it.
We can. Burwell. Where's Burwell? I'm not.
My geography's not great.
I bet. Do you know what, Lois? I bet she does. I bet it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
She is, isn't she?
Hiya, Charles. All good here.
Hi, Charles.
Hope you're doing well in Texas, my friend. Hope things are all going well for you.
That's a great state.
Yeah,
Me and you would love it out there. Texas,
cool,
bit of steak, Dan.
Texas is cool. But yeah, those type of properties that hold that type of energy, that energy of despair and whatever, you know. Yeah, it's. I mean, there's one in Liverpool, isn't there?
Yeah, Newsham Park,
which is the one of the big ones, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
Excellent, Kelly. Excellent. I will find you on there.
Well, like I said before, I think it's on the Simply Spooky. As my dad's side, they're from Liverpool, Newsham Park. It's probably about 500 yards, not even that, across the park. So you got Newsham Park.
They're right near it. Yeah, you got the park. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the Newsham Park.
Yeah.
And then you've got one of the off streets.
Yeah.
And they're off there. So, you know, walking around the park when we were younger, it was quite weird because I've always said to my parent, like my mum and my dad, oh, I'd love to go and have a look at that, because mum always said, because it was owned by the NHS at start off, I said I'd love to go and meet the old people there and stuff, like, you know, and mum's like, no, you can't, and then it got all boarded up. Like, no, they went out, they left it. I just said to mum, it's like, I'd love to go in there, you know, like to see how it was.
Yeah, yeah.
But knowing some of the background of it, it was an old people's home, and then it was an old orphanage. So
that's seen a lot of sadness then, hasn't it? That's probably more than its fair share of death.
Yeah, and it was a mental institute as well. So you've got all three combined, haven't you? You've got your children.
It is Newsham Park, yeah. That's it, Lois. That's the one.
That's the one. And as you can see, I'm a big Liverpool fan, so.
Oh, you're right near us, Kelly. Not a problem. Not a problem.
No, that's right.
Yeah, Newsham Park is a particularly sad one, isn't it?
Yeah. That's in the cards, isn't it?
Yeah. All those Victorian, they are Victorian, aren't they? A lot of them have been used since the Victorian period. But as you say, the NHS converted them into places for like flats and retirement homes and all sorts of things.
Well, this is it, yeah.
But they are interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've not investigated. I've not investigated them at all.
No.
Okay, Kelly. Okay, right. We can. I'll find you on Facebook and I'll add you, and then we'll have a chat about what's going on and see if we can't help you in some way. And if we can't, we'll find somebody who can.
Someone else that would.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Okay, that's great, Kelly. Don't worry, we'll sort something. It's not a problem. Yeah, no, I've never of all the places I've investigated, and I've investigated hundreds over the years.
Yeah.
I've not done psychiatric hospital or a mental asylum, as they used to call
No.
them.
That's
Done a workhouse, which was very sad. That was heartbreaking.
yeah.
Again, they've done the hang on, mate, sorry. 30 years, Kelly.
Probably about 12 years for me, Kelly.
It's quite a while. Yeah, I've done a workhouse which was quite. Again, it's like the mental asylum, isn't it? It's people that are in despair,
Yeah.
people that are suffering, people that are at the end of their tether.
But like you
nowhere
said,
to
there's probably a lot
go.
of sadness there, isn't there? Like the workhouse.
Unbelievable
I
sadness. I locked myself in one of the. It was like a little. I think it was a. It was like a little cell.
Right.
And oh, hang on. Yeah, I know. It's sad. They hold all that energy, don't they, Lois? It's terrifying and sad, heartbreaking. Yeah, it was. I didn't get anything there, but it was. I didn't pick. I tried EVPs and video and all that. I didn't catch anything, get anything, and I certainly don't think I got activity there. Well, I did not that I saw.
What you saw,
but
yeah.
The feeling of despair is tangible, and they've done a lot to this building. They sort of cleaned it and painted it and tried to replicate it as well, but it was a lot cleaner, a lot nicer, I think, than when it was obviously had electricity in it and stuff like that. So it was a lot nicer, a lot more amenable. But sadly, it holds that atmosphere, doesn't it? It holds that negative energy.
Yeah.
And if that gets soaked into a building, then that's going to react at some point. It's got to. It's not just going to sit there, is it? And if the environment's right.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to start, like you said, it's going to be poltergeist, maybe poltergeist activity. You never know, do you?
Yeah. I mean, it was renowned for being haunted, and I can understand why. You know, I mean, I would hands down say it was, without a doubt, because of the history of it. But I didn't get anything. But it's like we were saying, you can go to a building 1,000 times and get nothing, and then one night, if you're in the right place at the right time,
it'll kick off.
Bang, you'll get something. You'll get something.
Oh, God, numb bum. Oh. Yeah,
but it makes for an interesting subject. But we're looking at Newsham, aren't we? We're looking at doing that at some point soon.
Yeah,
we're trying to sort that out at the minute, aren't we? Get into Newsham and that, but yeah, it'd be exciting because I've not done one before.
No.
So it'd be interesting to see what. And
especially, I think it'll be exciting for myself, like going past it, walking around it. I don't know how many times growing up. It'll be. That'd be interesting.
I'm guessing where your mum and dad live. I'm guessing a lot of people around there in the Victorian period would have probably worked in there.
Probably did, because my dad's. So it's my great auntie. So it's grandma's sister. So my dad's auntie. She lives in a 3-story house off the park.
Right.
But that's you go like the suburbs of Liverpool kind of thing. They're all terraced. They're
terrace houses.
That's it.
Yeah.
So they're all Victorian.
Yeah. Well, Liverpool's got a lot of Victorian architecture, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah. You've got the Albert Docks.
You've got the docks there, yeah. Which
you've got the cathedral. You've got the Liver Bird.
Your Liver Bird's looking straight out into the Mersey.
Mm.
So you've got all that there, haven't you? So I've not been to Liverpool. I look forward to going to Liverpool. We're definitely going to go there.
From there.
We're definitely going to go there. I like Liverpool, actually. I don't mind Liverpool at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to sort that out. There's a couple we're going to sort out, investigating why. But we're waiting for Her Highness to get back from the States. And then we can all systems go. Thank you, Lois. Thank you, Lois. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we're going to call it a day in a minute, guys. I think we're going to do an hour tonight. We're not doing a lot tonight. But we're back on tomorrow night on Simply Spooky, and tomorrow night we'll be talking about Kit. Ghost hunting Kit. And do my head in. This is not you, Kelly. On this computer, I'm having a nightmare with a computer.
Technology don't go for you.
Technology and me do not go hand in glove. Weeks ago, I had COVID-19 here. This. Oh, okay. Okay. Wonder if that was somebody looking out for you, Kelly.
Yeah. It sounds like it wants your attention, whoever
make
it is.
Sure you're all right. Yeah.
To look after you, because obviously you've got COVID.
We were talking about this earlier, Kelly. Yeah, exactly. Checking on you. We were talking about this earlier, Kelly, with the goose pimples and stuff, and we were saying that the natural reaction, your body's going to react to that sort of energy, being in the same environment as that sort of energy. That electricity, that static, your body's going to react to that. So that's normal. If you didn't have that kind of reaction, then there'd be something wrong. But it doesn't, from what you've said so far, and it's been quite a while by the sound of it, it sounds like Jamie said, it sounds like there's somebody trying to get your attention or checking on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
Could be a loved one.
Could be somebody just likes you, friendly. Yeah.
Just want to make sure you're right. But like Dan said, just give Dan an email.
Hey, no problem, Charles. No problem. No problem. We're just glad you joined us. It makes our numbers look great for when Viv gets back. She won't hit us then, you see.
She won't give us both a snack.
She beats us with a big stick if we don't get the numbers up while she's away.
She will do.
Plus, she won't bring us any nice candy back from the States like she promised.
Sweets, Dan.
Sweets. I know, but they call it candy, the Americans, don't they? Sweets. Yeah, we call it sweets. But yeah, she said that she'll beat us with a big stick, and she will not let us have any candy or sweets. So we've got to be on our best behaviour.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's an interesting subject.
Like you say, it's wrongs or rights, isn't it? Because people believe, weren't there, but some people think.
That's the thing, isn't it? Experiences you can have an experience and there can be 10 people having the same experience, but it's still a personal experience because you're having it as an individual.
Yeah.
Forget everybody else is there. They're obviously having their own experience, but it's hard to share in it, isn't it? You can tell people, you're experiencing that, but if they're not there or they're not partaking in it, they haven't experienced it, then obviously they're going to. I've always said the best way to be, if you're going to go into ghost hunting, the best way to be is skeptical. Not of paranormal, but of interpretation of it, in people's interpretations and people's reactions to something. You always be skeptical of it,
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Because if you run away thinking everything's a ghost from the wind blowing through a crack in the window and a curtain flapping up, you're going to poo yourself, aren't you? What you just stood on. But over the years, you know what it's like, Joe. You know exactly what doesn't sound right and what does sound right. What's like all of you guys probably do the same.
You got any more messages, mate?
Yeah, I've got one.
Trying to get it up.
And the message. Bathroom doors fly open by themselves and had things moved and rebound the house. But it sounds like somebody trying to get your attention, Kelly. Don't worry, we'll look into it for you. We'll sort something out. Don't worry. But it is disconcerting. It's worrying and frightening if you don't know what's going on. But it's just, they're great. Same as us, Charles. Same as us. Don't worry. I mean, say not worry. I'm not in that situation, but it's following like a normal pattern of a haunting by the sound of it.
Yeah.
whatever a normal pattern is.
Like you say, you don't know, do you?
No, we don't know. But it sounds like he's just trying to get your attention. So, but we'll look into it. Don't have no fear. We can check that out and try and help you with it. And as I say, if we can't, we'll get somebody who can. I hate laptops. Give me an Apple.
Go back to an Apple, mate.
This is driving me mad. Thank you. We wonder why our numbers went up. We've not done any shit. Don't tell Viv where I didn't share anything.
Forgot. Mate, you're not going to get no sweets, are you?
No sweets. I forgot Stroked couldn't be bothered. She's going to... she's probably sitting there like a little sniper somewhere in America, just watching us.
Then she gets no 4G or whatever and goes, I've lost them now.
So we're going to get a clap round the head when she gets back from the States. So we were saying that Viv's out in America at the moment. She's out in Oregon, beautiful Oregon.
All right for some.
All right for some, yeah.
Yeah. That's Bigfoot country, isn't it?
It is. I'll hold you to that, Lois. Yeah, it is Bigfoot country. It is Bigfoot country. She's spending time with the guy who's also got a channel on here. He's an Oregon guy, and he had an experience out there with a Bigfoot.
Did he?
Yeah, I've not. I'll need to question him, ask him about it. Not question him, but I need to ask him about it.
Ask him about it. Yeah,
it intrigues me. The cryptid stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So. Sorry, guys, I'm really, really not au fait with technology, as you can see.
Do they call it stomping for when they go out?
Squatching.
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 That's quite good.
On squatching.
Squatching. So is that they're going looking for Bigfoot? Is it?
They go out looking for Bigfoot. They go out looking for Bigfoot, cryptids. Okay. They've got Dogman in the state. They've got meant to have Dogman over here as well, aren't we?
Yeah.
I've not ever seen anything over here, cryptid wise. The only thing I've seen near cryptids is the people falling out of the pubs in the town midnight on a Saturday. But apparently we have got them over here, and I do want to go looking for them.
Yeah,
because I think that'd be intriguing. Right, guys. Okay, so we're going to call that a day now. Tomorrow, myself and Jamie will be ruining Simply Spooky reputation. We're on tomorrow from 8:00 on the normal Simply Spooky channel, and we'll be talking about kit tomorrow, ghost kit, and or paranormal kit, and some of these apps and bits of kit that do all that lighting and buzzing and all the wonderful stuff. And are they fit for purpose? Is it just a waste of money? And we'll be asking for your opinions, what you think tomorrow night. So please, if you get the opportunity, come on tomorrow night, and we'll talk about that. That should be an interesting subject.
Yeah,
it might get quite heated at times. I hope not. But yeah, that's it. So guys, from me, thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much.
Love you all. Bye, Lois. Thank you.
Bye, Lois.
Kelly, don't worry. I will find you on Facebook. I will sort that out, and we can then have a chat further. Probably do it when Viv gets back. She'll be back soon, and then we can look into it. So yeah, just hold tight there. And we'll speak to you. We'll speak to you all. Speak to you later. Good night, guys. Thanks ever so much. Bye. Bye. I can't even turn this off. Why is it not turning off?